Welcome, everyone. It is Cannabis News. I'm your host, Joe Klare. It's July 9th, 2019. The show, as always, is presented by the Marijuana Times. You can find us at marijuanatimes.org. Click the video tab there to find the show. Ton of great articles, social media links, and more. All at marijuanatimes.org. Find what you need. Today, we're talking about a Pennsylvania brewery debuting a new terpene-infused brew. Also, Jim Belushi, already in the marijuana business, wants to expand his footprint, so to speak, in the marijuana business, and some marijuana law reform news out of Hawaii. All of that coming up. First, of course, Cannabis News is brought to you by Natureside, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. Grow safe and poison-free. Don't use harmful chemicals or ban pesticides on what you are growing. Use Natureside, nature-side.com. Proud sponsor of Cannabis News. They're awesome. Been with us since day one. Go and check them out. First story by Jason Sander at marijuanatimes.org. Pennsylvania brewery debuts IPA infused with cannabis terpenes. Cannabis terpene-infused beer is coming to the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania. And it's all thanks to the brewmaster's love for his kitty and the Grateful Dead. Isn't that where all great ideas come from? On July 4th, Bethlehem Brew Works debuted a beer called Catnip Kitty, which will be one of the first of its kind in the state. After years of following the Grateful Dead around in my early days, I was exposed to many strange aromas that became familiar once again. This was really fun to work on. Christopher Bowen, the Bethlehem Brew Works brewmaster, told The Morning Call, said the amount of terpenes is very small. They are highly concentrated, and a little goes a long way. They make a huge impact on flavor and aroma. Bowen says certain types of terpenes actually bond to the cannabinoid receptors, enhancing the effects of the other compounds that are active in cannabis, including CBD and THC, although there is no THC or CBD in his brew. But it's obviously this is something we're going to see a lot more as cannabis legalization spreads across the land. As I've always said, more products. Cannabis-infused beer, cannabis-enhanced beer, terpene-infused beer. Whatever you want to make, you should be allowed to make it. And if people want to buy it, they'll buy it. If they don't, they won't. That's basically it. Bowen says he tops the brew off with trace amounts of terpenes found in the strains Sour Diesel and Fruity Pebbles. Of course, since the beer only contains trace amounts of terpenes, no THC or CBD, the beer is completely legal. So if you're in the Pennsylvania area, go and check that out. This next story from ChicagoBusiness.com. Jim Belushi's new role, marijuana mogul. Jim Belushi's next TV project isn't a follow-up to a sitcom, according to Jim. I'm not sure anybody was clamoring for that to begin with. To be fair, it wasn't a bad show. It wasn't a fantastic show, but it was, I saw some of it. It was pretty good. It's a reality show about his latest passion, the marijuana business. The 65-year-old became a gentleman weed farmer a few years ago after Oregon legalized cannabis use. Not sure what that means. Gentleman weed farmer. La-di-da. Now he wants Belushi Farms to go national using the well-known Blues Brothers brand and building a serious company. He grows and sells products under other brand names. And Oregon, a key test of his growth strategy, will be getting into stores in his home state of Illinois when recreational marijuana goes legal next year. Illinois is going to be a huge market, says Belushi, who grew up in Wheaton, but has lived in Los Angeles for the last couple of decades. He said, I want to be on shelves come January 1st. He says he's serious about plans to drive a replica of the Bluesmobile, topped with a joint instead of a giant PA speaker, on Lake Street under the L to mark the occasion. So be on the lookout for that. Jim Belushi branded marijuana. He also plans to launch growing operations in California and Nevada. He's also been talking with large cannabis companies, including some based in Chicago, to line up partnerships with growers, manufacturers, and retailers that will be needed to take the Blues Brothers brand national and international. So good for him. Although I thought that movie was John Belushi. Hey, whatever. Run with it. John's gone. He's been gone a long time. It's Jim Belushi's thing now. Good for him. And he's using it for marijuana, which is an even better thing. They could have used it for other products, but no. Use it for marijuana. It's the best use of the brand. Trust me. I know what I'm talking about. Branding. I'm an expert I surround myself with experts of the branding. MakeCannabisGreatAgain.com. That's right. This last story from Vox.com. Hawaii has decriminalized marijuana. Is now the 26th state to decriminalize or legalize the drug. I don't know what they consider legalization or decriminalization. I guess they mean, I don't know what they mean. I don't know how they come to the 26th. I'm not going to worry too much about it. In any case, Hawaii on Tuesday decriminalized marijuana, making it the 26th state to decriminalize or legalize the drug. Again, I don't know where they get that 26 from. The new law removes the possibility of jail time as a penalty for up to 3 grams of marijuana, but maintains a $130 fine. So basically, I know. When I first read it, I thought, hey, that looks like a typo. Maybe they meant 13 grams or maybe even hopefully 30 grams, but no, 3 grams. Hawaii's Democrat-controlled legislature approved the bill and sent it to Democratic Governor David Ige in May. I think that's how you pronounce it. He didn't sign it, but he also didn't veto it, effectively let it become law. The new law will take effect on January 11th, 2020. Marijuana Policy Project said in a statement, quote, unfortunately, 3 grams would be the smallest amount of any state that has decriminalized or legalized simple possession of marijuana. Yes, it is. Still, removing criminal penalties and possible jail time for possession of a small amount of cannabis is an improvement, I guess. I mean, I understand the incremental approach, and I understand that 3 grams is better than none. But at what point does the incremental approach, at what point do the increments become so small that it's going to take so long that it doesn't matter? I mean, how many people have less than 3 grams? You're basically talking about if you're walking around with a joint or 2, you're fine. But anything else is still a crime. And I guess that will protect some people. And some people won't have criminal records, although they're going to have to pay $130 for 2.5 grams of weed, which is pretty hardcore, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. Again, when do the increments become so small that there's barely a point to do it? I don't know. I'm asking the question. I'm not saying that this is it. It could be. I don't know. Maybe this is the limit of how small is too small. But again, I don't know. They have a little interactive map here on Vox. I guess it'll show you how they get to the 26 states. They break it down from legalized, medical, and decriminalized, medical, and decriminalized, and then fully legal. I mean, it comes to more than, I guess it doesn't come to more than 26. I don't know. I guess they don't count the CBD states, which is cool. That's fine. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I get 13 there. This leaves 37. I don't know. If you want to go, the Vox link is in the description of the video, as are all stories I talk about during the show. If you want to go check it out and try to figure out where they come to the 26, more power to you, but I really don't care because the number itself is really not important. What matters is it continues to go up, whatever it is. Again, is this decriminalization? Technically, I guess. So, congratulations, Hawaii. Keep it under 3 grams. Even then, you're going to get a pretty hefty fine for 3 grams, but I guess it's progress. I don't know. I don't want to seem like a downer because it's, like I said, 3's better than 0, but is it much better than 0? I guess the jury's out on that. Thanks, everybody, for checking out the show. Of course, search Marijuana Times on YouTube and Vimeo, Apple Podcasts as well. We're also on marijuanatimes.org. Thank you to Natureside, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. Thank you all for watching and listening today. We'll see you next time, right here on Cannabis News.